Hey guys, today we're talking about one of my new favorite games, Fallout 4. This is a new character I made this week called Gwen. She's pretty hot, right? I wanted to share it with you guys. I got so excited. I was having a lot of fun playing with her. I thought I'd talk about it a little bit. Her name's Gwen. She's a sexy, mean bitch. And it's basically a kind of a special build. I've played this game a lot with the normal shooting play style. But I decided I want to do something a little different. So this is a melee character focused on using weapons like bats and hammers and whatever you can find, tire iron, stuff like that. And so I wanted to change it up. Yeah, I tried to focus on not using guns, just using melee. Other ways I changed it up was, picking a girl. I never usually picked a girl. I'm always picked the dudes in this game. So I picked a girl, and she's actually kind of hot, which I like. She turned out to be pretty damn sexy, especially in that Volt 111 suit at the beginning. She had some nice curves, but now I switched to a dress in this video, which I think is also cool. A lot of times I think it's funny when you hit her, or when you're running or crouching, you'll see her legs and stuff, like her dress flies up in this outfit. It's pretty cool. Anyway, third way I changed the playstyle was to play in third person. See how it's in third person? This is over the shoulder. I usually always did first person when I played Fallout. I don't know, it just felt like the right way to play it at first. I didn't give third person a lot of a chance, but this time I did, and I actually like it a lot. It's really cool. And you can see her running, and this is actually just a walk right here, but she actually runs really fast. I think it has to do with me having really high strength and agility, but I'll get to that later. All these choices came together nicely, so let's go over the beginning stats and what perks to build for. I started Gwen with 9 strength, which makes her melee attacks way stronger, and you can get to the rooted perk a lot quicker. And that helps with your melee attacks too. That basically makes you stronger when you're standing still. Next, I skipped over to agility and went all the way to 9 with her agility too. This gives you a lot of AP points. This gives you a lot of AP points, and it makes your VATs way better and all that kind of stuff. And it also gets you down to the Blitz perk, which is very crucial for being a melee character. Blitz lets you lock on to VATs from further away, and that's one of the biggest challenges. If you don't want to just always run right up to the people, you can still get closer and lock onto them. The next special attribute I built on was luck. Take luck down to 5, and that way you can get the Idiot Savant perk. And this is actually the first perk I pick on a lot of characters. I would recommend taking this as your first perk on level 2. Because what it does is it multiplies your XP randomly. And then you get more points and you'll level up faster. And the other thing that is cool about it is, since this character has low intelligence, it'll actually multiply your stuff faster. Since we're not even putting any intelligence on this character, it doesn't really need it. The next one I would go back to on your special is to go back to Charisma. I didn't plan on this one, but after a few levels I realized the Lady Killer perk is very useful for this build. And I'll tell you why. This gives the Lady Killer perk gives the player more influence on males. So since you're a girl, you influence males, and then you also get more damage against males. And this is actually really, I didn't plan for this, but I kind of realized it when I started making Gwen. This is really useful in Fallout, because Fallout, you're usually fighting guys. Like, most of the villains are guys. I would say at least like 75% are dudes, probably more. So once you up that, you're going to have a lot of advantage being a girl, and you're also hot, which is fun. Now let's see here. Last thing I want to talk about was just to kind of rant on about play style and a little strategy about how I make this character work. So the first weapon I picked up, this video is later in the game. I'm like taking out some raiders on this little side mission. But at the beginning of the game, one of the first weapons you can grab is like a security baton that's in the vault, and that's your melee weapon, and that can get you all the way to Diamond City, to be honest. So yeah, I used the security baton for a long time, and I also kind of should note that you can't always use melee like 100% of the time. It's kind of a tricky thing you have to work around. You still have to have like at least 1 or 2 guns, maybe even some like grenades, or like a heavy Fat Man is something I might be getting later on for my character. I'm still a little early for that. I don't really have any mini nukes, but yeah, so I started off with security baton and a 10mm pistol, and I basically just used the 10mm and my melee weapon, and that's like all I have in my inventory. So the security baton is cool, but what I really want to get to, and the ultimate melee weapon for this build, is the Rockville Slugger. I think it's something called the Rockville Slugger. Basically, when you go to Diamond City, just head straight to Diamond City when you start playing the game. You have to do a few missions on the way, of course. You have to get out of Sanctuary and Concord. But Rockville Slugger is a great weapon. It's in the Diamond City market. You go to the baseball bat guy. He sells like baseball bats and gloves and hats and stuff. It's pretty obvious. He's right there on the left. And I never used this weapon before. I didn't even know he had it. But when I looked through his inventory, I was like looking at his bats, and he has this Rockville Slugger bat. And I think it's a little expensive. You might have to save for it, but it's really cool. This is the bat she has in the video right here. It has spikes on it. And not only is it badass, and it has like spikes which help against armor, but it uses less AP. It has like a special bonus. It's a special weapon that uses 40% less AP, and that is just ultimately helpful with this kind of character. If you want to use VATs, if you want to lock onto people, using less AP means your little red ticks about how much of your meter you're going to use, that's going to be like half as big as normal. And that's a big perk for this, and I think that's what really makes this character pretty awesome down the road, pretty much unstoppable at this point. If you see right here, I switched to third person for a little bit in the video. I thought it was funny to play in third person. It always feels like you're like a serial killer. I feel like it's the POV shots in Friday the 13th, especially with all the blood and stuff on everything. It's pretty crazy. But that's about it for Gwen. The only other things I would say is about the way I played it. There's a couple of different ways to play it. Like you can obviously, I'm not using any armor. Like I pretty much just rocked the Volt suit and then ran through it. I didn't really need armor. I didn't really need to build a lot of weapons or buy a lot of stuff. Because you don't need ammo with the bat. But I eventually did switch to this dress. I think I found this dress on the first, what was the mission? Whenever you follow Paladin Dance to the laboratory, there's like a dress on the way. I'll have to give you more specifics if you want. But anyway, it's a pretty dress, and like I said, I think it's cool. It gives you more charisma, and it looks pretty hot. Like I think she looks like a conservative kind of hot chick with the hat and the glasses, and being in third person. I don't know. It just makes it more fun beating people up with a hot chick. It's kind of like a Tomb Raider thing or something. I don't know. But that's about it for the Gwen character. I hope you guys like it. If you have any more questions about it, or if you like it or hate it, just give us a comment. Thanks for watching. This is the Brooks Show talking about Fallout 4. Have a great day, everybody.